Hello, and a very warm welcome back to Vita Prime Health. I'm Dr. Isabel Warren, and it's a true pleasure to have you here today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'm a Harvard-trained endocrinologist, and my passion is helping men live lives of vibrant health and lasting vitality. Here we believe in honest, evidence-based conversations that empower you, because knowledge is the greatest tool you have for your own well-being. Today, I want to talk about a topic that has become incredibly popular in wellness circles, one that's been the subject of a great deal of research and a lot of lively debate: the effects of deliberate cold exposure and heat on your body's performance and long-term health. This is a conversation that was sparked for me recently when I delved into the work of Dr. Craig Heller, a renowned professor of biology at Stanford who has done extensive work in this area. His insights into how our bodies respond to temperature were so powerful and so clarifying, and I want to expand on them for you today. Before we dive into the science, I want to make a special request of you today. Please stay with me for our entire time together. We'll be starting with a general overview, but the most important and truly life-changing information, the crucial steps for a path forward in your own life, will be revealed as we go. The actionable insights, including practical protocols for using heat and cold effectively, will be found in the latter half of our episode, and I promise you, they are well worth the wait. I want this to be a conversation. The topic of male health is so often a solitary journey, but it doesn't have to be. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and any questions you have about this topic. Have you ever tried a cold shower or a sauna for your health? What was your experience? I would love to read your comments below. Your questions and experiences help guide our community and can provide valuable insights for others who are listening. The science of performance, aerobic versus anaerobic. Dr. Heller's work provides a crucial distinction between how temperature affects different types of exercise. For aerobic activity, think long runs, cycling, or swimming, the benefit of cooling comes before the exercise. He discussed the idea of taking a cool shower before a long run on a warm day. This practice, known as pre-cooling, increases the capacity of your body to absorb excess heat. It's a simple concept with a huge impact. If your core temperature starts lower, it takes longer to reach the point where heat impairs your performance. This can translate into running faster or farther. For anaerobic activity, like weightlifting or high-intensity interval training, the limitation is more local and immediate. As you work a muscle, its temperature can rise dramatically, up to 50 or 60 times the resting rate. This heat, as Dr. Heller explained, can't be dissipated fast enough. When a muscle's temperature gets too high, a fail-safe mechanism kicks in. An enzyme critical for energy production shuts off, and you simply cannot do one more rep. This is a key component of muscular failure. The strategy here is not to pre-cool, but to cool between sets. The idea is to quickly cool the blood, which is the only way heat can effectively leave the muscle. The role of glabrous surfaces. This brings us to a groundbreaking part of Dr. Heller's work. The best way to cool the body isn't with an ice pack on your neck or an ice vest on your torso, as these can cause reflex vasoconstriction that actually seals heat in. The optimal sites for heat loss are the glabrous surfaces, the hairless parts of your body. These are the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet, and the upper part of your face. Why? Because these areas are equipped with specialized blood vessels that shunt blood directly from arteries to veins, bypassing the capillaries. This allows for a very high flow rate of blood, making them incredibly efficient portals for heat exchange. Dr. Heller described a study where they made people hyperthermic and then cooled them using two methods: the standard method of applying cold packs to the armpits, groin, and neck versus cooling the palms, soles, and face. The cooling rate was double, using the glabrous surfaces. This is a game changer for athletic performance, as it means you can cool down much more effectively and quickly between sets. allowing you to increase your work volume and get stronger. In my clinical practice, I have seen these principles play out in the lives of many different men. I remember a patient I'll call Mark, a 35-year-old competitive powerlifter. He was a dedicated athlete, but he was hitting a plateau in his squat performance. He'd hit muscular failure around the same number of reps every time, and he was getting frustrated. After hearing about Dr. Heller's work, we discussed a new approach. Between sets, instead of just resting, he would stand with his hands in 2 large bowls of cool water, holding a cold object to ensure a good surface contact. We had him avoid putting ice in the water, so it wasn't too cold to cause vasoconstriction. Within a few weeks, his work capacity increased, and he was able to complete more reps and more sets than ever before. His story is a powerful example of how applying these principles can directly translate to tangible performance gains. Then there was a man I'll call Ken, a 55-year-old who loved running, but a recent diagnosis of borderline high blood pressure had him concerned. He loved his morning runs but often felt overheated and exhausted afterward, which raised his blood pressure and heart rate. After consulting with me, he began a pre-cooling protocol. He would place his hands and feet in cool water for a few minutes before his run. He noticed a significant difference in his ability to maintain a steady pace without feeling overheated. His resting blood pressure and heart rate began to trend downward, and he felt more energetic and less fatigued after his workouts. His anecdote shows that these protocols aren't just for elite athletes, but for any man seeking to improve his overall cardiovascular health and endurance. I'd like to ask you, what's a common health myth you've heard that you've been curious about? Your questions are so valuable, so please share them in the comments below. Common myths and misconceptions. Let's clear up some of the common myths and misconceptions that can stand in the way of using these protocols effectively. Myth 1. Cold showers will instantly boost my testosterone. Fact. While a cold shower or ice bath can give you a surge of adrenaline and an overall feeling of vitality, the evidence for a sustained, clinically significant increase in testosterone is limited. Some studies have shown a short-term spike, but it's not the reliable, long-term effect that many people hope for. The real power of cold exposure is in its effect on your nervous system, your mood, and your ability to build resilience. Myth 2. You should never expose your body to heat because it will kill your sperm. Fact. As with most things in life, the dose makes the poison. Occasional use of a sauna or a hot bath is unlikely to cause a problem. It's the prolonged, chronic exposure to high heat, like daily, hour-long hot tub sessions, that can be detrimental to sperm production. The good news is that these effects are often reversible. Myth 3. The shock of cold is bad for your heart. Fact. For a healthy individual, the vasoconstriction and adrenaline rush from a cold plunge are generally safe and can even be a good form of cardiovascular exercise for your blood vessels. However, if you have a pre-existing heart condition, this sudden shock can be dangerous. It is always best to consult with your doctor before engaging in any new and intense health protocol, particularly one involving extreme temperatures. Myth 4. Putting ice on my head or neck is the fastest way to cool down. Fact. As Dr. Heller explained, this can actually make you feel cooler than you are by cooling your brain's thermostat, but it doesn't effectively cool your core body temperature. It can even cause vasoconstriction, which impairs your body's ability to shed heat through its most efficient portals. This is why targeting the glabrous surfaces is a much more effective strategy. Lifestyle integrations and practical practices. Now that we understand the science, how do we use this knowledge in our daily lives? It's about finding a balance and using these tools with intention. For anaerobic performance. In the gym, between sets, you can use a crude protocol. As Dr. Heller mentioned, a bag of frozen peas or a cold can of soda passed between your palms can work. You'll know it's working if your hands feel cool, but not numb or painfully cold. The goal is to cool the blood flowing through your hands without causing vasoconstriction. For aerobic endurance, Before a long run or a strenuous bike ride, especially on a warm day, take a cool shower. As a more advanced practice, you can apply cold to your palms and feet for a few minutes before you start. This lowers your core temperature and buys you more time before you hit the point of overheating. For overall vitality and resilience, the simple practice of ending your daily shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water is a powerful tool. It stimulates your nervous system, gives you a boost of norepinephrine for mood, and helps you build mental fortitude. A detailed FAQ for our Men's Health IQ community. Question: is a cold shower the same as an ice bath? While both are forms of cold exposure, they have different intensities. A cold shower provides a stimulus to your nervous system, but an ice bath is a more profound physiological event. The sustained, all-encompassing cold of an ice bath is more effective for reducing inflammation and eliciting a more significant hormonal response. Both are great tools, but they serve different purposes. Question: can I use both heat and cold in the same day? Absolutely. In fact, many people find that alternating between heat, like a sauna, and cold, like a cold shower or plunge, is a powerful way to improve circulation. This contrast therapy causes your blood vessels to rapidly constrict and dilate, which can be an excellent form of exercise for your vascular system. Question: should I take a cold shower or a hot shower after a workout? This is a great question. If your goal is muscle recovery, a cold shower or ice bath is often recommended as it can help reduce inflammation and soreness. However, if your goal is to grow muscle and build strength, some recent studies suggest that a cold plunge immediately after a workout may blunt the muscle protein synthesis response. In this case, a warm or hot shower might be a better choice. This is an evolving area of research, and the best protocol really depends on your specific goals. Question: can deliberate cold exposure help with weight loss? There is some evidence to suggest that cold exposure can help boost your metabolism by activating brown fat, a type of fat that burns calories to generate heat. While this is not a magic bullet for weight loss, it can be a supportive tool as part of a comprehensive strategy that includes diet and exercise. Question: what is the recommended time for a cold plunge? For a cold plunge, a good starting point is around 30 seconds to a minute. The goal is not to endure the cold for as long as possible, but to stay in long enough to get the physiological benefits, the adrenaline rush, the vasoconstriction, without overstressing your system. For a beginner, a minute is often more than enough. Question: what about the risks of cold exposure? For a healthy individual, the risks are minimal. However, as I mentioned earlier, if you have a pre-existing heart condition, such as high blood pressure or a history of heart attack, you should be very cautious and always consult your doctor first. Additionally, never stay in a cold plunge for too long, as hypothermia can set in. Question: what is the Cool Mitt? The Cool Mitt is a technology developed by Dr. Heller's team at a company called Arteria, and it is designed to cool the hands at a specific temperature to maximize the benefits of palmar cooling without causing reflex vasoconstriction. As we draw our conversation to a close today, my dear friends, I hope this discussion has brought a sense of curiosity and a new sense of possibility. The world of men's health is expanding in such exciting ways, and we are no longer limited to old myths. Remember, whether you choose to make a small change to your daily routine or to embark on a more significant journey with a medical professional, the path to health begins with intention. It starts with a commitment to yourself, a willingness to be vulnerable, and the courage to make small, proactive changes. This journey of wellness, of living fully and vibrantly, is one we embark on together. If today's discussion resonated with you, if it offered a fresh perspective or inspired you to make a gentle change, I would be so honored if you would join our ever-growing Vita Prime Health family. Please subscribe to our channel right now. It's a simple act that ensures you'll receive all our future episodes, each designed to empower you with evidence-based insights and heartfelt support for your well-being. And if you know someone, a cherished family member, a dear friend, or perhaps a valued neighbor, who might also find comfort, inspiration, or valuable insights here, I would be deeply grateful if you would share this episode with them. Your sharing helps us extend our embrace, fostering a larger community dedicated to thriving at every age. Let's continue to support each other on this beautiful path. Thank you always for your precious time, your trust, and your unwavering commitment to your own health journey. Until we meet again, take exquisite care of yourselves and keep cultivating that wonderful vitality.